ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। क्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विजयपूर्वकाणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्ते नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नमो धर्माय महते नमः कृष्णाय वेदसे ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमस्कृत्य धर्मान् वक्ष्यामि शाश्वताम्। नमो भगवते तस्मै व्यासाय मिततेजसे स्य प्रसादात् वक्ष्यामि नारायणकथाम् इमाम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. So we previously were looking at in the Drona Parva, Arjuna making his progress and him defeating and destroying the Bhojas, Mlechas, Yavanas, and other troops who were blocking his way, and he destroyed, and through that he killed Shrutayus, and other kings and princes who were blocking his way. So he killed all of them, and he was making his progress like that, and he avoided Drona. So at that time, Duryodhana, watching this, he becomes very upset, and he thinks that Jayadratha is going to be killed by Arjuna. That means Arjuna is going to survive for another day in battlefield. So he goes to Drona and he scolds Drona that Drona is not doing enough, and he is always supporting Pandavas. So he blames Drona for the what Arjuna is causing, the damage or the destruction that Arjuna is causing. And with that, Drona says that I don't blame you for getting angry with me, but you are a king, you are a Kshatriya, you go and resist Arjuna. And having said that, Drona says that he was going to give a kavacha, an armor, through to Duryodhana, and through that, he is going to be, nobody will be able to break that armor. So he can go and face, bravely, he can go and face Duryodhana with that kavacha. So he can do that. So with that armor, he can go and so we'll look at what happens and how Drona gives that and what happens after that and what is the significance of that kavacha, how Drona got it, and all those things we'll look at today. So Drona says that definitely Arjuna is somebody you cannot defeat, but I will give you this armor of gold. I will tie this into your body, and no weapon can penetrate this armor. So once you have this, nothing Arjuna can do. Nobody, even forget about Arjuna, even the Devatas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Uragas, nobody can do anything. Even Krishna or Arjuna cannot do anything on this. So this armor, nobody will be able to penetrate. So wearing this, you go and resist Arjuna. You go and stop Arjuna. So having said that, Arjuna, Drona start blessing Arjuna, putting that armor around Duryodhana's body. He starts blessing him. He says that Karotu swastite brahma swasti chapi dvijatayah सरीस्प्राश्च ये श्रेष्ठात् तेभ्यस्ते स्वस्ति भारत येयातिर्नहुश्चैव दुन्दुमारो भगीरथः तुभ्यं राजर्षयः सर्वे स्वस्ति कुर्वन्तु सर्वशः स्वस्तितेस्त्व एकपादेभ्यो बहुपादेभ्यो एव च स्वस्ति अस्त्व एकपादेभ्यश्च नित्यं तव महारणे स्वाहा स्वदा च शची चैव स्वस्ति कुर्वन्तु ते सदा लक्ष्मीररुन्धती चैव कुरुतां स्वस्ति ते नगः असितो देवलश्चैव विश्वामित्रस्तथाङ्गिरः वसिष्ठः कश्यपश्च एव स्वस्ति कुर्वन्तु ते नृप दाता विदाता लोकेषु दिशश्च सदिगीश्वरः स्वस्ति तेऽद्य प्रयच्छन्तु कार्तिकेयश्च षण्मुखः विवस्वान् भगवान् स्वस्ति करोतु तव सर्वशः दिग्गजाश्चैव चत्वार खिदिखं गगनं गः अधस्तात् धरणीं यो असौ सदा धारयेन् नृप सशेष पन्नगश्रेष्ठ स्वस्ति तुभ्यं प्रयच्छतु. So he says that let Vedas, Brahma, Brahmanas bless you. Let the higher classes of Nagas, Uragas, them bless you. Let Yayati, Nahusha, Dundumara, Bhagirath, and other royal sages, let them bless you. Let them bless you. And let all the creatures having one leg and those having many legs, let all of them bless you. Let all the creatures in this great battle that have no legs also, let them also bless you. And let Swaha, Swada, Shachi, Indra's wife Shachi, all of them do beneficial what is beneficial to you. Let Lakshmi, Arundhati, they them do beneficial to. And then the rishis, Asita, Devala, Vishwamitra, Angirasa, Vishta, Kashyapa, and let all of them do bless you. Let Dhatri and the the rulers of the four directions, Dikpalakas and Kartikeya, let all of them bless you. Let all the Vivasvat, that Surya, uh, benefit you, and also the four elephants, four quarters, the earth. So again, four elephants here talked about those four elephants that hold the earth stably. Okay, so those four elephants, the four directions, the earth, Prithvi, the Akasha, firmament, and the planets, all those, and he who is underneath the earth, that is holding Shesha, and all of them, let all of them bless you. So like this, Drona blesses Duryodhana with that kavacha, and he puts that kavacha on, and also he narrates how he got that kavacha. He says that previously, when Vritra was harassing all the devatas, at that time Indra and the devatas went to Brahma for his protection, asking for a favor from Brahma and finding a way out how to defeat Vritra and how to win over Vritra. So we looked at Vritra's story beginning of Udyoga Parva, if you remember. Okay. Uh, Vritra and his brother Trishira, those stories Shalya narrated that to Yudhishthira, if you remember. Udyoga Parva. Bit long time ago, but hope you remember that. So that Vritra's story repeats everywhere. Okay, any Purana you take, you get Vritra's story. Vedas, we take Vritra's story. Indra's, whenever we talk about Indra, there is always Vritra's story. So here, again, Drona says that Indra goes to Brahma asking benefit from Brahma, and then Brahma says that Vishnu uh, will be able to help, and with that, Devatas, Indras, everybody agree that they should. Brahma says that Vishnu says that they should be you should be protected from Vritra, but we have to. Vritra has been created by Twastri, Vishwakarma. He created him after doing his severe penance with Maheshwara Shankara as his objective. So through that grace, he only got his son. So that's why if you have to defeat Vritra, you have to go and first seek Shankara's blessing. So having said that, all of them go to Mandara mountain and then Kailasa. They go there and then they see Maheshwara, and then Maheshwara asks, why have you come here? And then they say that we been removed from all our riches and everything, energy, everything from by Vritra. So now give us protection. So having said that, Shankara says that yes, it is so. So he has been created through my blessings only, but I will always do what is beneficial to you. So that's why take this armor from my body, of my body, take this and put it on mentally uttering the mantras, these mantras, and then Shiva gives that mantra. So having said that, he gives that armor to Indra, and taking that armor, wearing that armor, Indra went to battle, and we know the story. Indra finally uh, made friendship with Vritra and then finally managed to kill him with help from Vishnu and so on. So we looked at that previously. So Drona says that then Indra, after killing Vritra, he gave that armor to Angirasa, and Angirasa gave that to Brihaspati, and Brihaspati gave that to Agnivesha, and from Agnivesha, I got it. If you remember, again, Adi Parva, going back to Adi Parva, Drona's guru is Agnivesha. So he got that from Drona, learnt all the weapons celestial weapons and everything from Agnivesh, if you remember, going back to Adi Parva. So Drona says that he got it from his guru Agnibesha with all the mantras, and he says that Drona says, I'm going to put that on you with all the mantras, so I will tie you around your body. Having said that, Drona puts that armor around Duryodhana and says that uh, this with the Brahma's blessing with mantras and ties that Brahma has given. Through that, I'm going to tie you. And Brahma himself previously put this on Vishnu during when Vishnu went for battles. And similarly, even Brahma himself put this on Indra himself at the time of the battle uh, between Devatas and Asuras when the abduction of Tara took place. So Tara is Brahaspati's wife, was abducted by Chandra, moon, if you know the story. And then there is a battle takes place. Brahaspati was supported by Indra, and Chandra took mm, support of Asuras. So like this, the battle took place. So in that battle as well, Indra was put on this armor. So like this, Duryodhana was given that armor, and with that he became very much happy, and he started proceeding towards where Arjuna was battling. Arjuna was well ahead into inside that area Drona has formed. So Duryodhana is now going back into inside his array, like Bali in the previously in the battle he used to go, like that Duryodhana was walking. So, like this, while Duryodhana was going, and he was going behind Arjuna and going to catch Arjuna, Pandavas, on the other hand, with Somakas, Panchalas, and others, they started attacking Drona. So, the huge battle takes place between Drona and the Panchala warriors in that battlefield. So, by this time, it's already reaching noon, and Pandavas, headed by Dhrishtadyumna, they started attacking Drona. And Drona himself, with all the weapons, he started covering Panchala forces and Pandavas and the other warriors on the Pandava side. So the great battle takes place between those two forces. Drona, again, even though old in age, he resisted, and on the other hand, Dhrishtadyumna, leading the forces, he started attacking heavily that Kuru troops supporting Drona. So the battle takes place between them. Dhrishtadyumna strikes repeatedly at Drona, and Drona similarly strikes with arrow shower of his own towards Dhrishtadyumna. So in that battlefield, Dhrishtadyumna showers Drona with a large number of weapons, and in that shower, scimitars, swords became the wind. They were like glowing like the wind, and then the darts, lances, sabres that Dhrishtadyumna was throwing, and the boasting became the lightning. The twang of that bow of Dhrishtadyumna became the roar of the thunder, and then Dhrishtadyumna, like this, he was pouring torrential weapons, torrents of weapons, showers on Drona and the forces. So like this, he strikes at Drona, and he kills large number of car warriors on that side, horses, and like this, he was continuing to attack. With his arrows, he turns away Drona from his tracks. He moves Drona, so he attacks Drona so much, and then Drona really struggles against Dhrishtadyumna, and at that time, Drona's troops got divided into three groups. Because of Dhrishtadyumna was attacking so much, they were divided into three groups. One was led by Kritavarma, another one Jalasandha, another one Drona himself. So like this, Drona repeatedly tried to unite them again, because when they're united, they could attack better. But Dhrishtadyumna was attacking so much, he again divided that groups into three groups, and he was slaughtered. The Kuru troops were slaughtered by Dhrishtadyumna like that. So Dhrishtadyumna was attacking, and the battle continues. The Pandavas attacking that divided Kuru host like that, and the battle continued. Drona again becomes angry, and he starts striking again with his own arrows and his own weapons, he started attacking the cow warriors, elephants, horses, foot soldiers, and everybody. So, like this, both sides, Panchala forces and the Kuru forces, attacking one another, with Dhrishtadyumna and Drona leading on both sides. The battle continues between those two troops. Then, uh, Duryodhana's brothers, Vivingsati, Chitrasena, Vikarna, they surrounded Bhima in that battle. Anuvinda, Vinda, they and Kshemadruti, they supported these three, Vivingsati, Chitrasena, and Vikarna. Balika went against Draupadi's son. Shaibhya went against King of Kashi. Shalya went against Yudhishthira. And Dushasana, with his own division of troops, he started attacking Satyaki. Similarly, Sanjaya says that he himself, with his own troops, he went and supported with his weapons and everything, supported by 400 bowmen. He resisted Chekitana. And Shakuni, with his Gandhara forces, he went against Sahadeva. Vinda, Anuvinda, they also had battle with Virata. And Balika had again battle with Shikandi. Like this, the battle continued, and the Abantis, Sauviras, Prabhakaras, all of them resisted Dhrishtadyumna. Alambusha, Rakshasa Alambusha on Kaurava side went against Rakshasa Gatotkaja on Pandava side. So Kunti Bhoja went then against Alambusha in the battle, and the huge battle takes place between them. While all this happening, Jayadrasa was protected. He was staying at the very back, and he was protected by 6 warriors, led by Kripa. So Ashwatthama, Karna, and Bhurishravas, Vrishasena, Sala, Chalya, all these were there on the back of him, supporting. Karna and Ashwatthama were on the both sides, right and left sides. Left and right. They were protecting, and Kripa, Somadatta's son, Bhurishravas, Vishasena, Sala, and Shalya, they were supporting from behind. So, like this, they were protected. Then again, the battle continues. Drona with the Panchala forces. The battle continues between them. Vinda, Anuvinda, they go against Virata, and Virata again approaching those two. He strikes them with a large number of arrows, and the blood started flowing between them, and they again still continue to fight. And then Shikandi fights against Baleka. Baleka again strikes at Shikandi, and Shikandi strikes back, so the battle continues then. Shaibhya attacks Prince of Kashis, and then Balika again goes after Draupadi's sons. So the battle like this takes place. Dushasana strikes Satyaki with sharp arrows, and Satyaki, like the struck by Dushasana, he momentarily deprived of his senses, and then again regaining his control, he strikes at Dushasana with 10 arrows, and striking like that, they again both of them continue their battle. Kunti Bhoja and Alambusha, they had their own battle, and Alambusha strikes Kunti Bhoja with many arrows, and then similarly he strikes back. Then Nakula Sahadeva united together. They go after Shakuni, and then again Shakuni again strikes back at those two. They have battle. Sanjaya, narrating all this, says that this is all originated by you, and it was nurtured by Karna and kept up by your sons. That anger of the fire of anger, wrath of Pandavas, that's today consuming the whole earth. That's what was happening in that battlefield. Shakuni was unable to resist Nakula Sahadeva in that battlefield, and he did not know what to do, and then he had to turn back from that battlefield. So he started running away from that battlefield because he could not resist Nakula Sahadeva. Gatotkaja and Alambusha, they had a lot of they continued a huge battle between them, those two Rakshasas, like in previously the battle that took place between Rama and Ravana. Yudhishthira and Shalya had battle with Yudhishthira strikes Shalya with 500 arrows, and then with 7 arrows like this they have battle. Vingsati and Chitrasena, they had battle. Vingsati, Chitrasena, and Vikarna, they go after Bhima. So like this the battle goes takes place. Bhima again rushes against Jalasandha and Yudhishthira with supporting them. And then Kritavarma, Dhrishtadyumna, they have battle. Yudhishthira goes against Kritavarma and Dhrishtadyumna again goes again after Drona. So like this, the battle takes place. The Drona again strikes at Dhrishtadyumna. Dhrishtadyumna has battle. So Dhrishtadyumna uh, uh, cuts off the heads of many Drona and Dhrishtadyumna, both of them kill large number of thousands of people in that battlefield from both sides, opposite side. So like this, they continue to kill. Entire ground was covered with the ropes, ornaments, weapons, standards, coat of mail, and various other things. Golden coat of mail, blood, everything was covering there. The horses, elephants, and were there the of the killed and all of them the carnivorous animals coming there and drinking that blood and licking and pecking the marrow of those fallen soldiers and the animals like that. So they were eating all those wild animals. So that battlefield looked horrible, but still the battle continued between them. So then Satyaki, again, Dhrishtadyumna, Drona, they continue to have that battle. Drona uh, and Dhrishtadyumna, they were killing each other's troops, and then Dhrishtadyumna, seeing Drona arrived very near to him, the horses of those two chariots, they get mixed up, they got tangled, and then Dhrishtadyumna in that time, he goes after Drona. So he goes after Drona and he enters very close to Drona, and then he taking a sword, he leaves off uh, uh, his bow and aside, and then he taking the shaft of Drona's chariot, he enters into that chariot, and then while Drona's chariot car was moving like that, chariot was moving like that, Dhrishtadyumna jumps on that chariot and he's trying to attack Drona. So Drona, using an opportunity, he cuts off hundreds of arrows, the shield, the of Drona, Dhrishtadyumna, and then his sword with 10 other arrows, and then he cuts off with uh, 64 arrows. He kills the horses of Dhrishtadyumna, and with couple of arrows he cuts off the standard and umbrella of Dhrishtadyumna. He kills both Pashni charioteers of Dhrishtadyumna, and then he uh, strikes a arrow which was about to take Dhrishtadyumna's life. But Satyaki comes there and he cuts off that arrow from Drona, and then he rescues Dhrishtadyumna and he continues to have battle with Drona. Drona quickly strikes him with 26 arrows, and Satyaki has battle with Drona, striking 26 arrows of his own against Drona. So Drona quickly, those two start battling, and Dhrishtadyumna meanwhile withdraws from that battle. So Drona and Satyaki, they continue to battle, both of them equal and fighting one another. Then Satyaki, seeing Drona's arrows coming towards him, he strikes back with his own arrows and he tells his charioteer, proceed towards Drona and I will destroy the troops today. And then saying that he rushes towards Drona. He nears towards Drona, and then the battle takes place between those two. So again, there is no separation between them, or both of them, Drona and Satyaki, striking each other with large number of arrows and injuring and killing, destroying the troops on both sides. They continue to battle. So the great battle takes place between them, and all the people started looking at that battle. Both Pandavas and Kurus started watching that battle that's taking place between Drona and Satyaki. Even Devatas, headed by Brahma, Chandra, Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas, snakes, all of them, in the sky started watching that great battle that was taking place between Satyaki and Drona. The In that battle, Satyaki cuts off with arrows Drona's bow, and as that bow was cut off, immediately Drona takes up another bow, and that bow as well Satyaki cuts off. And then Drona takes another bow, and then that also was cut off. Like this, uh, Satyaki cuts off 97 bows of Drona as and when Drona takes a new bow, he cuts that off. But again, Drona was also so quick that Satyaki could not release another arrow striking at Drona. So it is happening so quickly, 97 times he cuts it, and then looking at that great achievement of Satyaki Drona in his mind, he applauds the great thing Satyaki was doing, and he says that he is equal to Parashurama, he is equal to Arjuna, and he is equal to Kartavira or even Bhishma in the battlefield, and there is nobody else that could achieve such a great thing, what Satyaki has done. So, like this, mentally, he praises Satyaki's achievement in that battlefield. And then again, Devatas, Gandharvas, everybody watching that, they saw Satyaki's lightness, and also they praised how Drona was still able to, even Satyaki was battling like this, fighting like that, Drona was able to resist even though he's old in age. So Drona again continues to battle, and he strikes Satyaki, and Satyaki strikes back, and Drona then resorts to celestial weapons. He starts thinking that, okay, I'm going to have to resist this guy, and then he starts striking with celestial weapons. He releases Agneya weapon, that is fire, and then Satyaki nullifies that with his own weapon, celestial weapon, Varuna weapon. So, like this, whatever the weapon, celestial weapon, Drona throws at him, Satyaki had answers to that, or equal weapon of the same grade. So, like this, they continue to battle, and meanwhile, now they are in the afternoon, early afternoon, the battle continues. So, while these two are battling like this, Drona and Satyaki were battling like this, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, they all come there with Matsyas and others. They all come there with the hope of protecting Satyaki, because Drona was very angry, and similarly Satyaki was also not going to give up. And similarly on the other side, thousands of people, warriors with Dushasana at their head, they all come there to protect Drona. So, like this, the battle then continues among themselves. Meanwhile, as the sun was heading towards downwards course, that means we are in the early afternoon session now of the battlefield. Arjuna with Krishna, they only two of them in a chariot, nobody supporting them making progress in that battlefield. They were continuing. As Arjuna's arrows made a small channel in that battlefield, Krishna used to take his chariot through that. So Krishna was very skilled in driving that chariot, and he used to, even a small gap was sufficient for them to make progress in that array. So like this, they used to go. Arjuna in that battle, he again used to release those arrows with his name. They were well tempered. They were like end of Yuga fire. Yugagni. And then they were tied around with catgut, and they were straight joints. They were thick, far-reaching, and made of either bamboo or the branches of bamboo, or completely of iron. So, like these type of arrows, Arjuna used to release in that battlefield, and nobody could stand. So he used to release his arrows full crochet distance. So crochet means, it normally means crying. So that means a loud shout, how far one can hear, and some later the recent this measurement on this or equivalent people said it's about 3,000 feet or about 2 miles and things like that. But it is a distance a man's cry can be heard. Okay, it is about 2 miles distance when there is no obstruction and things like that. So it is that much distance. So Arjuna could clear his path up to that much distance with his arrows, and as he was clearing a spot, Arjuna Krishna used to move his chariot like that. So then again, Krishna in that battlefield urges his horses in that among those troops, and those horses as well, they with great difficulty again remember, even though there is a small channel made by Arjuna destroying the troops, a road he is making, because everybody is standing or blocking chariots and horse riders, elephants, and all these kind of things, foot soldiers, and everybody is there. Arjuna has to kill them, destroy those chariots and things like that with his arrows, and then Krishna can drive through that. He has to make his own road. So while he was making, the horses has to go through all that. So let's say chariot, even though it is destroyed or removed, elephant is dead, Krishna's chariot has to jump over that elephant that's dead on the ground. Right? It's not going to dead animal. It's not going to move on its own, or there is no JCB is coming to lift that up and move it to the side for to make the road, right? So Krishna has to take these horses, and the horses has to jump over those things and things like that. So even though they are dead, they are not attacking, but they are still there lying on the ground. So these people have to go over that or around that, navigate those dead, destructed chariots and various other things on the battlefield. They have to cross through that, and like this, they have to make their progress. So like this, they were progressing, and while Arjuna was progressing like that, the Avanti brothers, Vinda and Anuvinda, they become very angry, and seeing Arjuna going, making their progress like that, they become very angry, and they come there and they started facing Arjuna, and they managed to pierce Arjuna with 64 arrows, and Krishna with 70 arrows, and the horses with 100 arrows. Then Arjuna strikes back both of them. Again, Arjuna is very skilled, and he knows which part of the body to strike and where to strike, what force it need to be hurt, and things like that. So he knows, and he was striking them with his own arrows. Then again, those two brothers becoming very angry, they started releasing a huge number of arrows at Arjuna, the horses, and Krishna. And Arjuna cuts off all of them, and then in that battle, he cuts off the bows of their those two brothers, and then two standards, and then those two brothers, them taking other bows, they again started attacking at Arjuna. Then Arjuna, with once more, he cuts off the bows of Vinda and Anuvinda, and then with a sharp arrow, he with a stone tipped arrow, he strikes of the horses of and the charioteers, and then those who protected on the sides of those two, Vinda and Anuvinda. Then Arjuna, with a broad-headed arrow, he cuts off the head of Vinda, and with that, Vinda falls down and dies. Seeing this, Anuvinda becomes very angry, and he takes up a mace and he starts rushing towards Arjuna. But Arjuna, with arrows, he cuts off the arms, legs, and the neck of Anuvinda. With this, Anuvinda falls on the ground. So the Avanti brothers, we've been hearing about them from day one of Kurukshetra battle, or even before that, they were killed on the 14th day by Arjuna. So like this, those two brothers, great warriors, they were killed, and at that time, Arjuna notices that his horses were very tired, and it is already getting in the afternoon. It is already in the afternoon, and they haven't reached Jayadratha yet. They haven't seen Jayadratha yet. The Jayadratha is still far away. So seeing that, Arjuna tells Krishna that our horses are very much injured, and they were very tired. They are very tired, and Jayadratha is still at a distance. And what do you think we should do now? So again, you are always the wisest person. You are always there to protect
us Pandavas are always, you are our eyes. So tell me, what should we do? So again, I think it is better to un unyoke these horses from the chariot and remove the arrows from their body. I think that's probably is the best thing to do at this moment. They need a little bit of rest because they've been fighting and jumping over all these elephants and chariots and all these things since morning. They're very tired. They should be given a little bit of rest. So imagine you are in the middle of the array formed by Drona, a Vyuha. You entered that so far down, and your enemies are surrounded, and Arjuna is now thinking about the welfare of his horses. Okay, so that's the character of Arjuna we want to see. We are seeing here. Okay, in this scenario, what Sanjay is narrating is he's not just selfish, thinking that I need to go and kill Jayadratha today. Even though it is afternoon now, okay, we already spent half a day from making this progress. He is thinking about the welfare of his horses. Okay, and when he says that, Krishna agrees with him and saying that when Krishna agrees with what Arjuna said, that uh, remove this and detach these horses from unyoke these horses and then give them a little bit of rest. Krishna agrees, and Arjuna then says that I will check everybody that's coming towards us. You look after the horses. So, having said that, Arjuna gets down from that chariot and taking his Gandiva, he stands on the ground and starts facing up to all the Kshatriyas that's coming towards him. So, seeing Arjuna getting down from that chariot, all the Kaurava warriors and everybody on the elephant riders, horses, and foot soldiers, and those who are on chariots and everybody, they become very happy. They thought it's easy now because Arjuna is not moving. See, normally when he's on the chariot, Krishna drives this chariot in various directions. So the arrows, whatever that they are throwing, or the maces, or whatever the weapons they are throwing, Krishna avoids those things, right? So, but now Arjuna is still standing still on the ground, so it's easy to aim. So you don't have to think how fast Krishna is going to move or how which direction he's going to move. All those things you don't have to think. He's standing in one place. It's like hitting a tree from a distance, right? So it becomes easy. They all become very happy, and they all upraising their weapons. They raising their weapons. They started coming towards Arjuna and releasing their arrows. But Arjuna, standing on the ground, he started attacking, and he started resisting and killing all those people that's coming towards him. And there is nobody that could get anywhere near him, or no weapon managed to get near him. Then he addresses Krishna, addresses his Krishna addresses Arjuna, saying that there is no well here, there is no water for the horses to drink. So horses need water, and for drinking, not for bathing at this moment, but for drinking they need water. Having said this, Arjuna, with his arrows, with his celestial weapons, he creates a lake or a water body there which horses could drink. So with he creates a very good fine lake there. Sanjay narrates that even the birds started coming there and uh, drinking water and playing in that water body. So like this, he says that, and the rishis, including Narada, comes there to have a look at that lake that's created by Arjuna. And then to protect Krishna and the horses, Arjuna creates an arrowy a hall made out of a building structure made out of arrows. Let's call it in today's world a shed. Okay, so fully made out of arrows. That hall completely protected, so Krishna and the horses can go there and rest, and Krishna can look after the horses and things like that. So seeing this, Krishna becomes very happy, and he says, excellent, excellent, and then he takes the horses towards that, while Arjuna is still standing on his ground, and his enemies are attacking him, and he is resisting them. So like this, Arjuna continues to battle, and we see what happens to those horses, and when Arjuna returns, what happens. And also, we haven't seen Duryodhana with his armor coming and facing Arjuna, right? So Arjuna has to go. Still, it's already afternoon now. On the 14th day, Arjuna has to reach Jayadratha before the sunset, and he has to kill him. But we know that Duryodhana is coming with that protective armor he is wearing, and also we need to see what happens to Yudhishthira, because Drona is staying at the front and he is facing all those Panchala forces, and he with his aim of capturing Yudhishthira as a prisoner, right? So that's what Drona is trying to do. So we'll see what happens on that 14th day next time when we gather. Any questions?